Alright guys, so playing Jhin this game and versing a Lux Sivir with a Sona. So matchup wise, ideally they're going to outpoke us and outrange us, given that Sivir has her long range Q, but also Lux has her QE, which is really good CC in terms of lockdown, but also in terms of slowing and just AoE control. So this little thing happens here, and basically what happens is they charge us, but no one actually has to burn anything here. And that's a standard start, so you should have someone here to block entrances and to make sure stuff like this doesn't happen and they can't get a free invade. So as you can tell, I'm playing Jhin this game. So I've gone the standard fleet footwork with Triumph, scaling Bloodline because I know I don't really need the attack speed, I don't really need the tenacity, as you'll see with their team comp. So I go the Bloodline because lifesteal works really nicely with him. Coup de Grace as normal. Nimbus Cloak because it synergizes really well with Jhin's kit. Obviously trying to run down people, and you'll see throughout the game how I actually run down a couple of people. And Gathering Storm, just in case laning phase goes really bad and this game goes to, 30 plus minutes, I'm able to outscale the enemy AD carry in terms of pure AD. And then again, Adaptive Force, because Jhin doesn't scale as efficiently with attack speed as he does with flat damage. And then armor. So yeah, let's get into the game. I get a free invade. But Diana doesn't have to burn flash there, which is good. So the matchup. Ideally, I'm scaling. So as you'll see with my rune page, I've kind of gone for the scale safe rune page in that I know Sivir and Lux are going to outpoke us, and I know that Jarvan is a very scary ganker if he does gank us. So all I need to do is get out of laning phase, or ideally, go even in laning phase and make sure that I just scale. Because Jhin is one of the strongest scaling champions in the game in terms of damage output, even though his attack speed isn't the best. So, AD carry is probably one of my weaker roles as well, and this is in gold ELO. This is trying to get into Plat on one of my gold accounts, one of my Smurfs. So it's a good game to watch, because right now, obviously, with my How to Climb Out of Silver series, I think this is a bit better in that it's, a bit of a higher ELO, because I've been getting a lot of requests for some people in slightly higher ELOs to, how do we play League of Legends. So this one should be a good one. So as you can see, we are getting outpoked here big time. But my goal is to just go even or beat Sivir in CS, and if Vi comes, we go for kills. But Sona and I, on our own, we don't really have any hard CC except for my W. So again, in a situation like this, we're happy for Sivir Lux to push us in because we're safe under here. Jhin can, CS just as well as anybody under turret. I'm pretty confident CSing under turret. So when we're here, I'm very happy because it means that I won't get really they won't have any kill potential on me, and I'll be able to farm safely, and no ganks will be able to occur on us. So notice how I'm just always sitting back. And ideally, as a support, you should always be ahead of your AD carry like this. Really good. This is called the triangle. So you should always have a triangle between you, your support, and the enemy. And ideally, your support should always be the closest side or place of the triangle. Again, see, looking to try and trade these guys, but we just don't out-trade them. But notice how now I'm getting a bit of a CS lead, even though this is building up a wave for them. So here, I'm just trying to protect Sona. Again, I'm not actually trying to engage here, but we are actually whittling them down, mainly because of Sona, and she's really letting me get this early CS lead. So really well played by Sona, even though she's taking a lot of damage for it, and I'm not helping her out a lot. It's actually really benefiting me, because now we have a slow push on our wave. Now, going to ward here because I know Jarvan's bot side, because he's done his first clear. So he started red, has done his first clear, and then, of course, he's going to come back bot. A, because Vi's already in here, and Diana's they're both trying to kill Lee Sin. But B, because these camps are going to spawn before these camps, as you can see. Obviously, with Fog of War, you can't tell this, but because I know how to jungle track. I also play jungle. I would assume the most logical spot for Jarvan to be is his bot side jungle. So you ward here, so it gives you vision so that Jarvan can't do any sneaky EQs. He has to either go around here, which we've got warded, or come through lane, which he can do, but because the lane's pushed up, there's no real opportunity there. And again, got a really nice CS lead here. Which is mainly due to Sona and that Siva's very bad at CSing. Not the champion, but the person playing her. Not to do anything really to do with me. Mainly my Sona and the fact that Siva can't CS for shit. So this is fine. I'm happy here. See, notice how I don't position up here unless I want to do something. I sit far enough back because I don't need to be in XP range. I don't need to be in kill range here. So there's no point in being anywhere near your minion wave in a situation like this. Because A, while you've got this warded, you actually want this to reset and push back to you. Because when it pushes back to you, you get to control the tempo of the wave a lot easier than when you're pushing it into someone. Because when it's pushing into you, you can control how quick you want to kill these minions. If you want to freeze it, if you want to let it crash, if you want to let them get a reset, or if you want to get a reset. And obviously knowing that Jarvan's probably still bot side because he kind of tried to help Lee Sin here, I want this slow pushing, so I'm not trying to attack really any of these unless I have to. See? Just going up for CS. Again, look how I'm just trying to CS. I'm not even using my Q. I'm sacrificing a minion just so I can make sure this wave is pushing how I want it to. Now watch what I do here. It's quite interesting. So obviously I start pushing because I assume Jarvan would have cleared by now, but he actually hasn't. So this is when my tracking of the enemy jungler kind of falls apart. But notice what kind of saves me. And also a side note on Jhin, during laning phase, I never place aggressive traps. I always place traps where I think Jarvan could path. Like here, so that if they try and gank us, they immediately get slowed and we have a much better chance of escaping. Because in laning phase, putting E's here, sure they work, and I do put 1 or 2 there. But the main points are here and here, so that we can A, see Jarvan if he steps on one, but B, also slow down his gank route. Notice the second one there. And notice how we see Jarvan now. And I ping on my way. I meant to actually ping danger, but what I'm trying to communicate to Sona is that we both know Jarvan's here. Let's try and waste his time, or waste as much time as possible. And notice Vi immediately starts coming. See, notice how I'm still playing aggressive because I don't want Jarvan knowing that we know that he's there. Because we have a chance to waste even more time, which means he gets behind on XP, he gets behind in CS, and he gets behind on pressuring our other lanes, which are, you know, doing pretty well. So Camille's, you know, 32-4 CS, and Diana is getting pumped. So we really don't want Jarvan in near Diana. And there we go. Because of this vision, Vi gets pressure. She comes to break it. So she comes to break this, just in case Jarvan's still here. She comes to make sure we can break this, and therefore get Dragon. And then we burn Sums here. All off my combo, Sona baiting, and Vi applying pressure, but she was actually unseen. So that's the classic Jhin combo. Trap, Q, W, try and bait out the Sivir spell shield, and then go for the kill or burn Sums. And now I have a solid gold lead. I also have pressure on Dragon, and bot lane cannot do anything. They have to soak this while we just go get Dragon for free. And please, please, please help your jungler take Dragons. If they need it. In this situation, you know Vi doesn't need it. She's 1-0-2. Jarvan is back, so we know he's not bot side. So we've got all the pressure. Or no one can actually come. We see Malzahar go top. We don't know Jarvan's here, but we can assume that given he was just bot side, he's not going to come again. Which again is basic jungle tracking in the sense that junglers won't, if they come here once, they probably won't come again for at least another 3 minutes. Or at least, you know, yeah, another 3 minutes, because they're just wasting their time. All they're going to do is get the gank off, but they're actually going to lose out on XP. And so if your jungler is clearing efficiently, they'll actually be able to get a really big lead off a jungler trying to regain the lane that was already unsuccessful in their game. Almost got a kill there as well. And notice how you can help your jungler take dragon in multiple ways. So one, we've got a lot of vision here so that if, you know, they somehow push us in and Sivir and Lux come through, we can pretty much almost see them come to dragon. But two, when we pressure, it means Lux and Sivir cannot come at all here. But also because we burn their summoners, we have priority to come to dragon. We're going to get to dragon before them, and we're going to make it a 3v1 if Jarvan tries to steal. So notice here, I'm trying to keep Lux out of XP range. And also a really good thing is I'm making sure she's not backing, so they have a staggered recall. In laning phase, you ideally, if you can prevent it, you want your the enemy AD carry and support to back at different times. If they back at the same time, it means they get into lane at the same time. But if you make them stagger recall, so one tries to soak the XP while the other has to leave, then you can get 2v1s for, you know, 20 to 30 seconds as you come back to lane with your new power spike, your new items. And then you have another chance to try and kill them, or at least abuse them, set up the lane before it's again another 2v2. And so you can see here that I've already developed a nice little gold lead, you know, of about 800 all through laning phase. I haven't had to get a kill, I haven't had to do anything like that, and I back with a BF sword, whereas she only gets a double Doran. And again, notice what I'm doing. I'm pinging to help my jungler as much as possible. So you might think this is dead time walking to lane, but what I like to do is I like to watch the map. So I check again, okay, Camille is still fucking over Lee Sin. Diana's pushed in, okay, shit. Our ally jungle is in the enemy jungle versing the jungler. Holy crap, what can I do here to help? I can't get there in time. All I can do is danger ping. And Vi realizes this. She gets out, but unfortunately, she gets CC'd here by the Sivir and the Mouse. But I look how I come to try and save her. I heal to see, you know, maybe we could have got the kill there. Probably not, though. But notice how I'm trying to help my team out as much as possible, even if it slightly inconveniences me in terms of getting to lane a bit later. And now Sivir's really low again, so again we have that really nice lane advantage. Again, 34 to 50 CS, so I now have a 20 gold lead, and Sivir has to back. So she literally comes to lane, gets about 3 CS. Although she gets the double buffs and a kill, she has to go immediately back to base, which again leaves us with a 2v1. So in these situations, if I was Sona support, I would probably try and roam to look to do something here, because there's no point in both of us being here in a 2v1, because it just means Lux gets solo XP while we share XP, and there's no real kill potential. Lux knows that her AD carries back, so all she has to do is just sit here, soak XP, and play super safe. And Sona Jhin don't really have high kill potential pre-6. And notice again, I'm positioning not back here but here to try and zone her off XP and ability to kill minions. Again, notice how I'm just posturing aggressively, but then I come back and CS. Trying to find that perfect balance between aggression and also getting your CS. It's almost like splitting your mind, but what I like to do is I like to take a mental picture of all the health of the minions. You can do it pretty quick. You don't have to have photographic memory. I don't have one. But you can go, okay, we've got all these minions. One's on half HP. I can run up here, waste, 3 to 4 seconds, and still be back in time to get this CS if I need it. I mean, most people do it, it's just subconscious, but it's good to point it out. And again, notice how I'm still playing my win con. Even though I have a lead on her, she actually sold both her... Wow, I didn't even notice this. She sold both her Doran's blades to get a BF sword. So, if I was actually aware of that, I'd probably go, Jesus, man, this Sivir is not a very good player. Let's abuse her a bit more. So actually really bad ult by me. And if I actually hadn't have used my heal here to try and save Vi, who was already dead, I might have actually been able to save my Sona. Notice how safe I am. And now I roam. So nothing on here. I can either back or go help my team. So what do I decide to do? Diana's having, you know, a semi-hard time. She's behind in kills. She's behind in CS. So instead of backing, because, you know, I have a bit of gold, but I've only got about 800 gold, so there's not much to buy. So what do? I roam. Now, I don't recommend this at home, kids, but watch what I do and kind of you be the judge of whether this was way too ham, even though we saw that Diana actually burnt a lot of their abilities, and they're both really low health. So also notice my runes. I have Nimbus Cloak. So Vi gets that. I get that. And then we get the double. And notice these two come over. I don't know why these guys came over. So if I was Sivir and Lux, what I would do is push the shit out of this wave, take a plating, and at least trade gold, because they're not getting anything by doing this. The wave's pushed in, so literally all they're going to be doing is sitting here going, oh, we're mid lane now, but we're 15 seconds too late. Why didn't we just push bot lane? So again, another sign that your enemy is bad is when they do things like this. Trying to maximize your gold, so you don't always have to match your enemy. If I'm them, I can't possibly match a roaming Jhin who's got a 15-second advantage on them. Instead, what I can do is push this in, make Jhin get punished for roaming, and take at least 2 platings. Instead, all they do is show themselves, and I just clear the wave safely, and then get a nice little reset with 1,600 gold. So that play, roaming from bot to mid, made me so much money. So I was on 780 gold 10 seconds ago. I walk up, we get the double kill, Vi takes 1, I get 1, and immediately I get about another 1,800 gold in my pocket. And also, I don't lose anything because Sivir and Lux come. And that's the importance of roaming, even when you're an AD carry. You know, you can roam. Jhin, who would have thought a Jhin roams at 10 minutes into mid lane? It's weird, but it works, because if they're not expecting it, and then they do something like that, you just get twice as much of a lead over them. Also notice how I always buy a control ward, and also notice how defensive I am with my items. Even though we know Jarvan's here, I like to play defensive like this, because just in case, you know, Lee decides to TP or roam up, or Malzahar again gets the push on Diana and then comes bot lane, I want this control, because I know we're probably going to be under our turret for the next minute, and I know that Sona's going to have to reset. So I need to fortify my turret so that if they do gank me, because I have no sums, I've got at least a chance of escaping. So put my both E's defensively, not aggressively. And just trying to thin out the wave before it crashes. And notice how I stay away from my Sona. And so here I tell my Sona just to back and reset. I'm fine, just reset because you're useless to us now. Not in an aggressive way, but I just say, hey Sona, just reset, it's okay. And again, look what I do in my dead time. So this is what I call dead time here. When, sure, I could be here and just be, you know, walking up with my minions. But instead, I look and go, oh shit, could I have come mid? And I don't lose anything by doing this. But what it does is, if there is actually an opportunity here, I'm already halfway across the map while these two are still twiddling their thumbs, not sure what's happening. And obviously, I also know Dragon's about to spawn, so I'm trying to get pressure. If ideally I can make a play here, then we get another free Dragon. Again, notice how I sat back until I saw Jarvan, because I'm like, shit, we don't know where anyone is. Everyone is right now off the map on their team. Obviously, Malzahar's dead, but right now we don't know if Lee and Jarvan are both rotating down to try and get the Dragon. So notice, see how far I play back, also because I want my Sona to back. So I can't possibly 2v1 these guys. Well, I could, but the risk versus reward just doesn't add up. So notice I ward here, and again, look how defensive I am with all my wards at the moment. Got complete vision for a perfect 2v1 setup, and I know Vi's bot side. So notice what I do, because we've got vision here and we've got protection. I ping on my way. Notice, I ping on my way because we can see Lux, we can see the Sivir's low mana, and I know this Vi is a good jungler because she's been playing really aggressive. She's super aware. She gets early dragons. So notice what I do here. I try and bait them as much as possible. So, well, that's... Okay, that's not a bait because I actually got hit by that legit, but it actually works perfectly into my plan because I know Vi's coming. Lux ulting here. I don't think she thought I would get the Q, so I can easily dodge that. I heal, get the W, and then what do? I don't try and aggressively play them. What I do is ult now because I know Vi's here. They don't even know Vi's here yet. And now I have perfect shot range on both of them. And watch how I split my ult in between both of them. So I'm not just tunnel visioning on getting one kill. I want both of the fucking kills because Vi and I made this work. You know, we made a 2v1 situation where I could have got killed into a massive outplay where we'll also get dragon if it's successful. So let's watch it. So notice how, okay, I now know that Vi is going for Sivir, so I'm trying to hit the Lux. Beautiful. There we go. And now I come over. So, of course I could push this. But I know, you know, I already have a 1.6k gold lead now. And obviously I don't know I have exactly a 1.6k gold lead. But I know because I have more kills. Well, not more kills actually, but I know because I have more CS. And then, I don't know why Jarvan comes over. Never contest second dragon like this. You can suicide for third and fourth dragon, but never ever do what Jarvan did when we have so much pressure and you don't have flash. If he used the blasting cone and then EQ'd over, sure. But don't use your only way of escape as your in method just to take second drag, because it's not worth it. And I'd be a bit cheeky here. I thought I was on final shot, so what I'm doing is I'm actually trying to save it. But I actually realized I'm on second shot. And then I immediately go back to bot because I know this is where the biggest income of gold is, and I know Diana's going to be able to push this. Notice again, Sona playing really aggressive. I really like this because it gives us awareness of, okay, is Lux in here? No, she's not. So I'm really safe to farm right now. So good support does a lot for an AD carry. And I actually think as long as an AD carry knows how to CS, the support is the one that controls bot lane, particularly for the first 10 minutes of the game. They're the ones that decide if their AD carry gets out of the game, how aggressive they should be playing, all because of that triangle. Your support and the enemy form a triangle, and as long as your support's always playing in the right position of that triangle, you're going to have a really easy laning phase. And Sona does this really well. And it's not going to happen every game. Of course, you're going to get bad support. You're going to get bad AD carries. Again, notice how I'm stutter stepping just to try and dodge everything. And we know Sivir's mid, so we want to push this, but also be cautious that Malzahar does have TP, but we assume there's no wards here and that it's only Lux. Because we've only been looked to be ganked once, and then just left us. And again, notice how I'm pressuring. So I know it's a 2v1, so I'm trying to pressure as much as reasonably possible. Even though I know I can't kill her, I'm at least trying to, again, take away XP, take away gold from her, so at least we can punish her for a 2v1. Oh, this is great DC, actually. So, yep. Oh, is Jin Inting? Should we report him? So I DC here for about a minute. Good stuff. Thank you, NBM. So I DC for about 2 minutes there, but I come back with a vengeance. Okay, again, this Lux. And notice how I position. again, because I've got Nimbus Cloak and she misuses her spell shield, I know that this is a kill. I use heal again to get another Nimbus Cloak proc. And Vi's killing it. Diana's now at least out of laning phase, and obviously you can see, I mean, Elise in top lane. It's a bit of a troll pick, but at least Camille has abused the shit out of it. So again, we want Dragon, right? So what do you do as a bot lane? You want to push this out as much as possible, so Sivir and Lux have to go here instead of being able to contest Dragon. While it's pretty free, I mean, we just killed Lee Sin. He's so far behind. He's level 9 to level 12. And we've got all the pressure and everyone bot side. It's still important to make sure you set up Dragon, just so there's even less of a chance for them to get, particularly on the third, because generally the third Dragon is the second most important before Dragon. And then obviously Elder is the most important Dragon. And notice again how I know they've pretty much got this on their own. So I just try and like cover my tracks as I walk. And now we've got vision of both Sivir and Lux. So the only person that can really steal this, I now see Lee. And watch how I play this fight with Lee Sin. Most people would panic, but what I understood is that Lee's level 9, 1, I'm level 10. 2, while I don't have any summoners, he's probably looking to whittle me down and then combo kick me. So usually Lee Sin's go RQ, but if I can dodge that for as long as possible, I will be able to actually out-trade him, because 1, I'm 4, 1 and 4, and he's only 1, 4. And 2, I know that these two aren't going to get into the fight in time. So I know I can't really escape, but I also know that my team is already coming around. So all I have to do is either stall and survive long enough, or try and juke him out. So he ward hops about 20 fucking, I don't know how long that is. Not very long. And notice how I kite with my fleet footwork and my attacks. And there we go. I mean, obviously I pretty much 3-shot him. And notice what I do. I leave him because I see that Camille has already got a kill here and she's looking for a next one. Stupidly, I ult here, and it's definitely a wasted ult, but at this point, it doesn't really change the outcome. The game's pretty much already over. And then I try and help him out. I get the W, at least on Malzahar. And now I know I'm probably not going to be able to catch Jarvan. So what I do is I just try and take this red, and obviously we'll pretty much come back. And then, look what I do. I don't try and finish the red. I immediately go to kill the Jarvan. And now I take it back. Again, notice how I'm just taking as much as I can. Just taking the two big guys. And then pushing this out. Because again, I know Camille has mid pressure, which generally is a much higher priority than bot lane, particularly when there's an enemy already here trying to defend. So my aim is to push that out. I W this. And again, sitting on a pretty nice amount of gold. So now, when it gets to 20 minutes in the game and you're up this many kills, even though they don't really have a win condition, we pretty much outscale them on all fronts. Besides maybe Malzahar and Diana, but Vi outscales Jarvan, Sona outscales Lux, and obviously Camille outscales Lee Sin, and I outscale a Sivir. So what you want to do at these points, obviously this is a stomp, but in any game when you have a lead, you ideally, once you've got at least tier 1 outers, you want to start grouping and trying to end the game as quickly as possible. But do not do what I do right now. I see these guys low, and I'm still pumped up and jacked up from all these kills we've gotten, this massive lead we've gotten, and obviously I now have a 2-item power spike plus a pickaxe. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna go try and kill these guys. And obviously they're baiting me, but at the time I thought, man, they're just bad, they're backing under their turret. What idiots, I'm gonna go kill them. Notice how far I walk up. What am I doing? And again, even though I threw that, I then again come mid. Because I know Camille is pretty much just killing the bot lane. And then, notice, we both look. So I see Vi, I go, okay, Diana's got mid, that's pushed in. There's nothing really to do here. We've kind of got vision that they're here. So what's the only area that I can help? I can't go bot. I can't go mid. So Vi and I immediately together, without even having to say anything, go top. I ping on my way just to confirm it. There we go. Notice how I ping on my way. And now I just use my W. I know I'm not going to get there in time to actually contribute. And I wasn't trying to steal that, to be honest. I just wanted to get the assist and the CC. And then Vi and I push out bot lane. It's a big yawn. Sorry, we push out top lane. Because we know Sona and Camille have ADC here. And we actually now know that Jarvan's there as well. So we ping back because we know we're going to get tier 2 here, we're going to get tier 2 here. Dragon spawning in, you know, less than a minute, but we have time to get both these turrets. And ideally, you know, they could take this next dragon. It doesn't really make sense to our win position. Because this game is probably going to end before we even get the last dragon. And again, notice what I do here. I have two options. I can either continue to push bot, or I can go to the minions that have a bigger wave and try and get the mid inhib. Mid inhib is always priority over top inhib. Unless I know I can solo push this while we get mid turret as well for certain, always go to your stronger or more important enemy nexus, enemy inhibitor, and help push that out. So again, notice I'm trying to keep Jarvan away from Jarvan. But now we get this turret, and then notice what I do. I leave it. I go, okay, I know these two can get this, so I'm trying to be as efficient as possible. We can see that they've just gotten a tier 2 by out-pushing us. Well, not out-pushing us, but by trying to trade. So instead of me coming here, this inhib's gone. We've got death timers on their whole team. I go to top and start pushing this out. And then it's GG. Thank you for watching that game to the end, and I hope you learned something from it. Now, just before you go, obviously, if you haven't already, go to my site, lolcoach.academy, because right now I'm giving out free profile reviews to every single summoner who clicks on here, signs up, and goes from there. Also, I'm giving 50% off your first VOD review. So, for the whole COVID isolation lockdown until it ends, I'm giving 50% off all my VOD reviews. So, if you liked what you saw here, want actually something more in-depth, so I go way more in-depth when I'm doing a one-on-one session with a player. If you want that, 50% off right now for your first one. You can try it, you can test it, see if you like it, and then we can go from there, whether you want more or you just go off on your own. Anyway, good luck on the Rift, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like it.